Welcome to a new episode of the UX Link. It's all about remembering the future in today's case study. My name is Jorge Simons, and I'll be your host for today. Just before we introduce a great team of people who've been working hard with Skedio App, I'd just like to remind you that we have great content at the UXLink.com. You can find reports, also videos on demand for every single case study, and if that wasn't enough, infographics for every method we have chosen. So there is no excuse for you not to come into the UX verse. That's our new that's our new word for today. So anyway, I'd like to introduce a great team here at Nearsoft. Here's Diana, Miguel.
Hey, hello.
Here's Diana, Miguel, and Arturo.
Hello there.
They're the local design team here at the
Yay!
And also a very important guest today is Alexandra Sturma, co-founder of Sturmasoft. She's part of this video team. So, Alexandra, can you please tell us all about your role and what the app gives your users, please?
Sure. I'm a co-founder at Sturmsoft LLC. We're a very small company based in Mountain View, California. And our main product at the moment is Skedio application for Android. It's a vector-based sketching application. When we were creating Skedio, we had this idea in mind to make application that is powerful, vector-based, and very easy to use. So it would be a hybrid of complex vector-based editors and simple sketchers. So we were trying to bridge the gap and make it usable for broad audience, and to make it multi-purpose, to make it basically usable for anything your imagination can come up with. What I do, since we're so small, I have a great opportunity to work on everything. So I do development, testing, customer support. I search for awesome guys like UX Clinic. So I do everything.
I think that's like the hard role of a co-founder. You guys rock it out. You do everything from design to development, testing. And thank you very much for being here with us today. Just accompany us for the next 10 to 15 minutes because we really need your feedback at the end of this emission. And we had a very different case scenario for this specific Skedio app case study, because your app is now big. It's really popular. There's a lot of downloads. So let's say the challenge for an app that is growing is different for a newly hatched app. So let's start the discussion with our most important question for today, which is, guys, how are you remembering the future with backcasting, and why did you choose this specific design method for Skedio?
Thank you, Jorge, for your great introduction, as always. Well, we chose the backcasting method for Skedio because it provides us with a clear vision of future and the steps required to achieve the ideal future. And right now, what Skedio needs is a path or direction to go to that vision and that future. So let me explain how the method works. So we first have to create a current situation. Let's just call it the present. And we conducted several interviews to have the first impressions of users and to come up with this present and see what are the opportunity areas of the application and and to see the future that we want Skedio to be in. So we have this future now. And in this future, all the opportunity areas that we discover are now solved, and we have the ideal future. But now we have to go back in time to see how we do that, what we did in order to create that wonderful future for Skedio. So we came up with several steps and strategies to realize that future. And we decided and we evaluated the first or the more important at the moment strategies to that will help Skedio to continue into that vision. And Well, we'll explain these steps right away, and I think one of my companions will explain that.
Yeah, yeah. Once we finish that transition session, so we be in the present, and then we uh, went to the future, and then come back. And so when we finish this travel machine thing, um, we establish a future, ideal future for Skedio. We believe that Skedio is ready to become the best vector sketching tool. So with this in mind, we create different strategies. I think it was 9 of them. And today we are going to present 4 to reach that future. So the first strategy.
Before we go into it, just we have a lot. We have been working with timetables, and we're in the past and the future. Just to clarify that, you had a group of users. You asked them to establish the present and the resourcefulness and usefulness of the app on present tense. Then you said, what would happen if it would be the perfect scenario? Let's say a utopic future. So after that, you started comparing that present with the future, with no time machine, by the way, and then you created 9 pathways to transition from the present to the future, and you chose 4 for today's, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now we're online.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. And now we are going to present these 4 that we believe that this is the more important and critical to continue reaching this future. And the first one is about to promote Skedio as a portable notebook. What if Skedio has right now the potential to become the replacement of object that like that? This kind of object that we use every day. This is my notebook, and I carry every day with me. And what if we replace these kind of tools to create notes, diagrams, some sketchings, and we make more powerful an object that we have over all the time on our pockets. I'm calling about my smartphone. And instead of have these 2 things with me every day, we make more powerful this smartphone with the Skedio. So this idea come up from something that users told us and expressed during the interviews. What they expect from Skedio is that Skedio will be able to help them to translate the ideas that they have in their minds in a shortest possible time. That means that they expect from Skedio that performs and acts like we do every day with a pencil and paper. So if we start to promote Skedio in that way, more users will be part of this awesome product, and they will feel like it's something useful for their daily lives. So the first step is start to promote and promotion the app as a replacement of a notebook.
Yeah, well, the second one is improve user interface to look updated. And here I'm going to start with a quote from a user that says that the first impression I got from Skedio is that it feels old-fashioned and outdated. I fear there won't be future updates or support. And as we can see on this slide, this is the interface that Skedio has right now. And as you can see, the interface looks like it haven't been updated maybe for 2 years or more. So we're suggesting the use of a more modern design, as we can see on this slide. The next slide, please. As we can see on this slide, you can see a more modern design and a more cleaner design for the users with a full blank canvas that they can use for start making things and creating things, and also the use of a more for more cleaner icons and settings. This way, you can start creating trust for the with the users, and they're going to start thinking that they can receive future updates or maybe more features on the future. Well, as you can see, we suggesting not only the use of a more modern design, also creating a more modern design, more modern way to interact with the application. For example, we're suggesting the use of gestures or swipes that can help the user to interact with the application, because right now the application has an interface that looks like it's meant to be used like a desktop application, and this is not a desktop application. This is a mobile application, and it has to look and feel like that. So, for example, as you can see on the right, once you start drawing or creating shapes on your blank canvas, the left toolbar hides from the interface to give the user more space to start creating their stuff. If you want the toolbar to appear once again, you just flick your finger over from left to right or with your stylus, and it will appear with a proper animation, obviously. This gives the user a more fluid workflow and also a more natural experience when using the app. Also, we're suggesting some kind of user gestures, standard gestures. For example, you swipe from top to bottom from the screen. You can get this this menu that you can see on the right screen that gives you the options to share or export options, or even create a new canvas. These are options that you don't need all the time, so they're going to be there only when you need them, and not all the time that you're creating your stuff.
So we have the third one, that is simplifying and organizing the tools. I want to start with a quote, and I had a hard time understanding all the icons. There are a lot of buttons, and I would prefer to use a piece of paper. It's faster. So what we're trying to do here basically is to reverse the way that the icons or the tools were organized, since they were all scattered and they weren't together as tools that will make more sense be together. For instance, we'll have here in the toolbar, all the related tools will be together in groups. So if you want to choose, for instance, the pencil tool or the brush tool, it will be in the same group, and you just have to tap it. And also, we want to separate the undo related tools to have a more strategic position at the top, and that will be the easier for the user to spot that. And also, when selecting an object or an element, we'll have an option to edit that specific, for in this case, text, and you'll have the option to change the color, the font, or the thickness or of the stroke. So that's what we wanted to organize all of these and simplify it.
That was one of my favorite parts of this research. The activity that we have organized the icons was very fun, and I'm happy with the result. I'm going to hear your feedback, Alexandra, shortly. And the last recommendation that we have to date is related with examples that appears on Google Play. Some users expressed during the interviews that the first thing that they do before to download an app is to look the examples that appears on Google Play. And this is something that is presenting right now in Google Play with the Skedio. This is a example of use. We can see there is a diagram for Android. And the thing here is that it's hard to be identified with these kind of examples because they are complex and super specific. And some users didn't know maybe what is Android or things related with software. So instead of having these kind of examples, we are suggesting to present something like pancakes recipe, something that looks like a freehand and something that most of the people loves. Who doesn't love pancakes, I think. So yeah, so if we put these kind of examples, people feel more familiar and they find a value and use for the app. Or for instance, we can present maybe a birthday card that everybody has a birthday, and who doesn't love to celebrate that day. And the thing here is that we are presenting the power of the app with importing images, creating shapes in different colors, maybe create a lettering with the freehand tool. but with examples that are more familiar and with easy to use. Or what if we present an example of use, a person who is developing a video game and he's creating the icons. So this is a different approach that people can find another use for Skedio. Right now, the current examples that appears at Google Play has a negative reaction with the users. For example, when we did the interviews, and when they saw the examples, the first impression and reaction was, whoa, awesome, wow. And then this emotion translated into a concern about how they did it. It looks complicated. It looks like this isn't for me. And this is something totally opposite with the vision of Skedio, because Skedio is easy to use, is for everyone, and the people feel intimidated with these kind of examples because it is so complex and it looks super professional, and they believe that this is something that isn't for them. It's like, I think it's cool, it's useful, but it's not for me because I just take notes. I just use my notebook to draw something quickly and fast. So if we change these kind of examples, the people feel like it's a blank canvas, it's a notebook, it's your ink and paper on your pocket, and you can find any kind of examples and different approaches for each person. We believe that if Skedio present this product like a portable notebook, the future that we established at the beginning, I mean, be the best vector sketching tool, it's possible and is something that Skedio can reach, because Skedio is super cool, it's easy to use, it's precise, and it's smooth. So the only thing that we need to do is follow these 4 steps and start to giving the possibility to the people to create whatever they want in a blank canvas. So this is our feedback, Alexandra, and I hope you like it, and I hope you think this is possible for Skedio.
But before, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to give my feedback. I think, guys, you did an amazing job. Really, it was very interesting to hear all the research and definitely user perspective. That's something we've been missing and we were very curious about. So that's really nice. I like the idea of utopic future. Definitely, that's a must.
Yeah, we like it too, and we believe this is possible.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for the feedback. It's very encouraging. I really appreciate that you liked the app, you used it. And I like the cleanliness of design. That's definitely something that should be worked on. It's a must, of course. Regarding examples, honestly, I think it's very valuable feedback for us because we saw the opposite, and that's why we've put more complicated examples. And this is really, really good idea to work on. So really appreciate it. Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Oh, and we still have something for you. We like to sum it up in 4 takeaways. So now it's time for our famous takeaways, and then we will take any questions you might have. So guys, take it away with the UX Clinic famous takeaways.
The first one is to promote Skedio as a blank canvas, as Diana was explaining, is to simulate the easiness to create something in your notebook with your ink or your pencil. And of course, the second one is take advantage of the UI and gestures to provide a natural experience. So without, this is a mobile application, so it has to have those kind of features. So let's just take advantage of it. That's something, it's a must, I think.
Yeah, so the third one is related to unlocking all the features during the exploratory phase. So letting the users explore all the things that they can do with your application is the best way to make them feel sure that this is the right application for them. So if you unlock all the possible things that they can do with the application, the users can feel more comfortable and can gain this trust to your application before they start paying for something that they maybe don't know how it works or how it's going to look like. And the fourth one and last one is encourage users to embrace the product using everyday practical examples. And as Diana said before, if the users open your application on Google Play and see all these technical examples, they can feel all the power of the app, the power that app that can give them. But in the real life, most of the users look for something more simple and for examples that they can apply on the everyday life. And this way, the users can feel identified with this kind of examples and relate them directly to the app.
So let me start the question round with one question. I'm an iOS user and I really like the app. When are we getting an iOS app? Is that on the plans?
Yeah, please.
I have so many questions about this. Unfortunately, I cannot promise when it's going to happen. I wish.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us before we say goodbye? Do you feel this is something you can implement on your next design iteration?
Yes, we will definitely try. I don't think it's going to happen very fast because we did have a plan to redesign our application, and it's something we want to spend a lot of time because it will stay there for quite some time before we do the third redesign. So yes, but it's definitely steps that we are going to take. And examples, yes, I'm looking forward to be creative and do something interesting. That's probably going to happen sooner than redesign our application.
Yeah, people think redesigning a whole app is easy job. It's not. It's really a whole process. It can take months, sometimes years. It depends on a myriad of possibilities. But anyway, I'd like to thank you for joining us today, Alexandra. You've been great to work with. The team has spoken wonders of you, and we're really glad you liked the feedback. Guys, is there something you want to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I just want to thank to Alexandra and the Skedio team to letting us the opportunity to work with you guys. I think and I believe that it's an awesome product everyone should have in their Androids and their tablets. And I just want to thank also our users because they provide us a great feedback and good ideas to create the future that we are presenting today. Yeah, without them, this cannot exist. And also, I just want to thank the whole team here, all these awesome designers and our Captain Summary. This is an amazing host. And also the people who is behind the curtains. I am talking about Bani, Misael, Fausto, Marisol, who is in Sweden. And we have a surprise for the final episode of the season. We have a new teammate, and we are going to reveal her identity in the next episode. So stay tuned.
And we're celebrating our first anniversary. Our first episode went live June 10th, 2014 or 2014. So it's been a year now making the world a delightful place for users, and we're really glad you have joined us as an audience for the world conquering. No, I'm kidding. So we'll see you in 3 weeks' time, but please, if you think we can help you apply for the UX Clinic at theuxclinic.com or send us a line at contact@theuxclinic.com, and we'll see you in 3 weeks' time for a new episode of the UX Clinic. Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.